Good morning, everyone, and welcome to another edition of the First Family of Las Vegas' daily free winning show, brought to you by the best website on the planet, your one-stop sports betting shop, Sports Memo. We have a great show today, guys. It's Tuesday. We've got baseball, we've got football, we've got tennis. You name it, we've got it for you. A great show. Let's bring this panel on. They're a good-looking panel. We've got making a house call, Dr. Chuck. We got the new kids on the block, but they hit the ground running. Eric Pauly, Jeff Michaels. Let me start first of all. Dr. Chuck, good morning. How are you today?
Doing great. Yeah. Nice long holiday weekend and back at it.
Our good friend Eric Pauly, who's pulling double or triple duty on shows today. We appreciate you coming on the First Family. How are you today, buddy?
Doing very well. Excited, like Chuck said, to get back to it after a nice long weekend. And it's the grind starts. It is nonstop moving forward.
Speaking of a long weekend, I put an announcement yesterday, Eric. You'll find this amusing. That I wanted to wish everybody watching a happy and a healthy holiday. And for all those sons of bitches that don't work, if I see them having a good time, I'm going to be pissed off. So it's only for us people that work. So having said that, our good friend Jeff Michaels. Good morning, Jeff. How are you today, sir?
Morning. I can't complain. Yeah, we spent the holiday, actually brother-in-law's birthday yesterday, so we had family and birthday celebrations to go along with the holiday too. So we had a good weekend. I can't complain.
Oh, nice. Great stuff. We're happy to be here with Chuck, Eric Pauly, and Jeff Michaels, three of the best in the world, certainly three of the best that Sports Memo has to offer. You know how I start every show? Good morning, honey.
Good morning. Happy Tuesday.
It is Tuesday. You know, getting up every day with you is a treat for me. I know some days you want to hit me with a wire hanger. Last week she did. I had my wrist taped up. But I'm excited about a few things. First of all, we do a little bit of fluff. I got to give you the fluff. Stadium tour this Friday. I spoke to my good friend Vince Neal from Motley Crue the other day. He said the Friday show at Allegiant Stadium, they headline Def Leppard, our good friends, CeCe DeVille and Bret Michaels, who's Dionne's celebrity crush. I did not speak to them the last few weeks, but we're going to go see them with Joan Jett on Friday. It's going to be a great show. We're right in front. We're going to have a lot of fun. We'll probably go backstage, have a few laughs with our good friends from Motley Crue and
Poison. So by Saturday, we should be deaf.
So by Saturday, huh? Anyway, at my age, I'm lucky I'm not deaf anyway. I am very excited. I was telling Dr. Chuck, you know, I injured my ankle 10 weeks ago. I couldn't take part in the Sports Memo Wager Talk golf outing at all. I'm just starting to walk on it a little bit. It's still messed up, but I'm going back to the boxing ring this week. 3-time Gold Glove winner. I'm going back in that ring. I'm going to show those young whippersnappers, half my age and twice my height, what boxing's all about. I'm happy about that. Now, I do want to throw up something. Last night, guys, I watched it. I'm very happy. I had Clemson last night, third quarter, and you guys know I go to sleep. I don't watch a lot of games, but I wanted to watch a little bit of the game. I went to sleep. I nodded out. Third quarter, about 14-10. And then all of a sudden, we're covering. I'm happy. Then they threw in Cade Klubnik. I know it was the end of the game. Georgia Tech isn't the greatest defense in the world, and they were fatigued after 4 long quarters playing against Clemson. But I don't think I've been as impressed with an 18-year-old freshman. I know it was one series, guys. Let's not polish off his Heisman just yet. But Cade Klubnik impressed me with his general leadership. He was not afraid to throw it. I mean, man, he gunned it a few times into some very narrow windows. Ran the ball well. Let me throw this to Dr. Chuck. Doc, first of all, Cade Klubnik, one, how impressed were you with his play? And two, if Uiagalelei, don't call me a ukulele, who I do think is a good quarterback, he's got the experience, and you can't replace experience even with athleticism in college football. But if he gets into trouble, my second part of the question, how soon before they yank him and put in Cade Klubnik? Dr. Chuck, please.
I probably couldn't be any more in agreement with you on this. I think I would have been more bullish on Klubnik getting the nod at the start of the season. I understand, you know, Dabo's got to realize that he's not trying to make friends. And he did realize that, you know, with the Trevor Lawrence, Kelly Bryant situation. I thought this would have been similar, but maybe because you brought it up, you know, they're 24 point favorites here. There's no reason to start Klubnik with Uiagalelei can do enough. You know, he said he was super impressed with all eyes on him last night, but I don't think I think if he does him a favor so that he can transfer like he did with Kelly Bryant and get Klubnik in that spot, I think that will be a nice thing for Uigalele, and he can get a different job. But Klubnik will be at least in there by October, I would think.
Okay. And he also knows he gives this kid a little more experience if they, their upcoming schedule, if he gives him a little bit of play time and he starts getting a little more of his, a little more momentum going, a little more self-confidence, which I don't think this kid lacks self-confidence at all. And I love that about him. I love it. I mean, I was so impressed with him. And I was very, very excited. I mean, granted, and then he came in and he got that touchdown and, and I said, okay, now I don't have to sweat that at the end of the game. This is why I don't watch games, Dr. Chuck. But I was very excited about him, and I appreciate you chiming in about that.
Could have just been, that'd be a lot of change. Venables is gone, and he, his defense, and last year was like, 9-3 for Clemson is basically like going 5-7 for a lot of teams, and so a lot of change. And I think he was probably a little nervous. Yeah,
but they did finish last season, if I'm not mistaken, winning their final 6. Yeah. If I'm not mistaken, but you're right. A guy like Venables is gone. Some other coaches are gone. A lot of they lost a lot of guys. If I'm not mistaken, they lost over double digits to the NFL. So it's a situation, but they certainly show promise. I'm very excited. I'm glad that I started this season with another Monday night win. Couple of announcements. Then we're going to get into free plays for today's action. First of all, guys. Before we give out any winners for today's card, this is an exciting show. We are going live, so give us your comments. I know some people are commenting already. I'll get to that in a moment. We wanted to go live for a couple of reasons, mainly so we can get your comments and get with you right away, give you a longer shelf life on some of these games. Because baseball, a lot of these games are going off earlier in the day. For those of us cappers that are contributing baseball, maybe now we could give out earlier plays for you. You could take advantage of those free winners. Also, guys, you see it going across the bottom of your screen. Hit the subscribe button. We want to hit 10,000 YouTube subscribers during football. We can't do it without your help. And when you hit the subscribe button, you'll get an alert every time one of our shows pop up, and you don't want to miss any of our fall content. We're revolutionizing the sports betting industry video-wise. So hit that button. Also, Dionne,
yes.
I'm going to be hosting the College Football Forecast Show Thursday and Friday. We have our first NFL Pro Football. How about that? There's 8 years of higher education wasted. Our NFL Football Forecast Show going off Friday. These are going to go off live with tons of free winners and a rotating panel of documented cappers over at Sports Memo. And don't forget Friday, the first family show becomes what? The Family Affair show. Our good friend Jeff and his dad Ralph Michaels joins Dionne and Joe D'Amico. You got to tune into that. This way you can get a chance to receive some free wager bucks. Dionne has a couple of discounts that we're going to get right into today's winners. Dionne, take it away.
Yeah, Joey and I have an amazing discount going on right now. You can get a 30-day all access for just $199 from either one of us. All you have to do is use code FF30 upon checkout. And do you know what today is?
Tell me what today is, darling.
Today is $2 Tuesday over at Sports Memo. That's right. We have 3 amazing cappers featured as $2 cappers. We have Cajun Sports, Tim Michael, and R&R Totals. $2 a piece for each of their plays, or you can get all 3 for just the low price of $5.
Guys, just speaking, $2 a peach. I'm gonna give me a dozen peaches. $2 a piece, or all 3 for $5. Guys, I'm gonna tell you, because of Sports Memo Tuesdays ain't just for tacos anymore. So without any further ado, we're going to go to Dionne D'Amico, the First Lady of Las Vegas. She's excited about a few premium plays that she's going to be putting out. Plus, this past weekend, she did better than me. I had a nice Saturday. You did 3-1. She finished college football. That's your number 2. Dionne's going to tell you about a few things she's excited about on the premium side. She got a free play. Dionne, the floor is yours.
Thank you. I am really excited about football coming up this week. As Joey did mention, I did go 3-1 on Saturday in college football. But for today, I have one game poster right now over at Sports Memo for just $7 in my MLB double play. I will also have my WNBA slam dunk posted right after the show. So make sure you head on over to the site and pick up these winners. And this is the perfect time to go ahead and take advantage of that 30-day all access for $199. For today's free play, my play is going to take place in the American League, where the Tampa Bay Rays host the Boston Red Sox in Game 2 of this series. Boston has been playing good as of late, winning 5 of their last 6 games. But it may be a little too little, a little too late. They currently sit in last place, 14 and a half games back. Tampa Bay, they also have been playing well as of late, winning 6 of their last 7. They currently sit second in the AL East, just 5 games back of the Yankees, and is tied with the Mariners in the top wild card spot. Today we have Rich Hill and Drew Rasmussen as scheduled starters. Hill, he's 6-5 with a 4.528 ERA. And in his career, the left-hander is 3-0 with a 2.78 over 14 appearances, including 5 stars against Tampa Bay. Rasmussen, 9-4 with a 2.70 ERA. And in 6 career appearances, including 4 starts against Boston, the righty is 1-0 with a 2.91. And when playing in Tropicana Field, he is 6-1 with a mere 1.97. Saying that Tampa Bay has dominated Boston is an understatement here. The Rays have taken all 7 meetings against the Red Sox in Tampa Bay and 2 of the last 3 series in the American League rival. So I'm going to go ahead and take the Rays in this one.
First Lady of Vegas has take the Rays. She's been killing it with her free plays on this show, the MLB show, the football shows all over. Man, you are doing a lot of show content.
I am.
And we appreciate you. But your free plays are killing it. And if our free plays are winning, what do you think our premium plays are doing over at Sports Memo? Go over to Sports Memo after the show. Follow the First Lady of Las Vegas. Use that 30-day discount because right now she's doing WNBA. You're doing MLB.
Yes.
College football, pro football. Guys, you're going to get a ton of free, a ton of winning content from her in 4 sports. I'll tell you right now, whether you bet $5, $50, or $5 a game, it'll pay for itself.
And
in no time.
$1.99 for the month is
That's
a great deal.
Let's bring on the rest of our panel. We're going to go right over to our resident writer, too. You know, he hit the ground running here a few months back. Eric Pauly did. And, you know, I was familiar with his writing because he really does write great, great stuff. And, guys, if you don't believe me, go over to Sports Memo, go to Wager Talk. He does some great content on there. And they do post a lot of stuff on Twitter if you follow his Twitter page or the Sports Memo Twitter page. He is amazing, and we're proud to have him on the show. He does great work here. I know he's pulling an all-nighter probably because he's pulling either double or triple duty today, doing quite a bit of content on video-wise. But, Eric, I got to tell you, when you're good at something, you get in demand. You know, if you weren't any good, you do 1 show a year. I'll tell you that right now. We're proud to have you. We're sorry you're tired, but we are amazing. We are just absolutely happy to have you here on the First Family Show. I know he's doing some great work in multiple sports over at Sports Memo, and he's going to tell you about some premium things he's excited about, and then he's going to give you a big free winner. Eric, the floor is yours.
Yeah, I really appreciate that, Joe. It's always nice to be here. I mean, I'll be on the Sports Memo Today show later at 2:30, then followed by the MLB Full Count Sports Betting show later today. So if you're sick of me, then today might not be your day. But if you're looking for some winners, then it'd be a great day to follow along with not only myself, but with Dr. Chuck, Jeff, Joe, Dionne, and everybody else who will be on the shows later today. On the premium side, I have a best bet of the day up on Sports Memo, as well as my first NFL play of the day. That is for a player plop in the Rams-Bills game, which is on Thursday. Of course, the NFL season is here. But for today, we're going to stick with the gridiron, and I have a great winner for you today. I'm going with the Minnesota Twins on the run line, -135 against the New York Yankees. It's no secret that the Yankees have been one of the worst teams in baseball over the past couple of months. They have shrunken their lead in the AL East to just 5 games with a month left to play. So that's going to be really interesting to see how that plays out. The Yankees are 11-19 their last 30 games, and facing the Twins, who are not doing so hot themselves. They're 14-16 in their last 30, but they have a divisional race to win as well. They're 1 game behind in the AL Central. So this is really a must-win matchup for both of these teams. We have Garrett Cole, the Yankees ace, going for New York tonight. He's 10-7 on the season with a 3.28 ERA, a 3.22 FIP, and a 101 WHIP. But on June 9th, he actually faced the Twins, and it was one of Cole's, if not his worst start of the season. He allowed 7 runs on 8 hits and was bounced in just the 3rd inning. But at home this year, Cole's been a lot better. His ERA is down to a 3.15. He's at 2.08 batting average against, a 0.91 WHIP, and a 2.66 FIP. But my biggest problem here is that the Yankees are 7-7 in Cole's home starts this season. And the rookie Joe Ryan's going for the Twins. He's had a very nice season, but he's actually been a lot worse on the road. His ERA bounces up to a 5.05. He has a 5.22 slugging percentage against and a 4.88 FIP. But the reason why I think that Ryan is in a good bounce back spot tonight is because I think his road performance is more of a not a telltale that he is not as great of a pitcher, but I think he's looking for some positive regression tonight. The Yankees offense has been struggling, so I don't see them jumping all over Ryan. The Twins, of course, jumped all over Cole that first time they faced. I had this priced at around -150, so seeing it at -135, I think is an auto play. I'm going with the Twins plus that 1.5 in this must-win game. both teams need it. So I see the Yankees blowing out the Twins. I could see the Twins winning or certainly losing by less than 2 runs today. I'm rolling with the Twins.
Sports fans, Eric Pauly says take the Twins plus the run line. He had him minus 150, so minus 135 he feels is a very, very good offensive value. He's doing great work over at Sports Memo after the show. Don't do it till after the show, but after the show, go follow Eric. He's doing great work. You'll follow him all the way to the bank. Eric, let me ask you this. My Yankees, I have no problem going against them today. I get it. Are they in trouble in the East? Can they still wait it out and win the American League East?
They are 100% in trouble. I don't mean trouble as in they're going to lose the division necessarily, because there's 5-game lead with a month left. And even if they do end up losing the East, it looks like they'll be a shoo-in for the wild card. So we'll definitely be seeing them play exciting baseball in October. But when not only your lineup is struggling outside of Judge, but your pitching staff has regressed in very meaningful ways, it's hard to get excited about this team. I mean, looking at what they did the last 2 months, that is more of a tale of who they really are as a team. I think the fact that they got off to such a hot start ended up being so detrimental to them because they had a huge target on their backs and everybody thought that they were this like juggernaut, when in reality, they're just a very solid baseball team. And I would have a couple of teams like the Astros, Dodgers, and Mets rated higher than them in terms of making a postseason run, even the Atlanta Braves. So I think that the New York Yankees certainly need to have a sense of urgency, get back on their horse and win some baseball games, because if they do not, they'll be playing in a wild card game rather than having home field advantage in a divisional round.
And that's a big difference because they're very good at home. Eric, I did notice, and I'm a Yankee fan, guys. I bleed Yankee blue pinstripes. I will say that over the last month and change, I saw them losing types of games late in the game that they were winning in the first half of the season. That, to me, really is a concern as a Yankee fan. Very good team. They could certainly turn it around. They could get their foot on the gas again, but I'm a little concerned as a Yankee fan. Great breakdown from Eric Pauly, as usual. Guys, go over after the show, follow Eric. You'll follow him to the bank. Let's go to our family affair. I love Jeff Michaels. Don't you love Jeff? He always comes. He always brings it. He is always, one of the best young minds in sports betting today. And we have a lot of fun with Jeff because we have that camaraderie with him. Called me an old fart one day a few months ago, but I love that about him.
He's looking so
I am an
today.
old fart, but he looks so good today. I got to bring it. Look, between Eric, Dr. Chuck, and Jeff, they're 3 good-looking guys. It really pisses me off. We got to get some funny-looking guys on this morning show because you guys that got Moneyline Matt, it's killing me. Jesse looks good. Ross is good-looking. I need some ugly guys. We got to get some ugly. We're going to tell Johnny Detroit, please get some ugly cappers. Please put him on the Sports Memo side. I got to boost my confidence, guys. But Jeff is doing some great work over at Sports Memo in multiple sports. I know he kicked off the football campaign doing real well, and we had a lot of fun with him the first couple of weeks on the Family Affair show. So tune into that Friday. He's going to tell you about some things he's excited about on the premium side, and he's got a nice free winner for you for today. Jeff, the floor is yours.
Thanks, Joe. I appreciate it. Yeah, we had an awesome weekend to start off college football, and that helped actually put us in the number 3 spot on Sports Memo in the last 7 days, and number 2 on the site on plays 3 units or higher. So I do have the start of a package loaded for MLB tonight action. I've been doing it on the slower nights, and I've been doing my MLB triple play, and I got another one up there for you today. It gives you my top sides, my top total, and my top props from baseball today, all for under $6 a play. So that's up and loaded for you, and the last play will be put up after this show. But as far as today's play goes, I'm staying in that AL Central looking at Chicago White Sox, but I'm looking at them losing to Seattle today. I found not 2, not 3, but 4 perfect trends recently between these two teams. The White Sox are 0-3 this season when they win a game after putting up 5 or less hits. They're 0-5 as a dog after putting up 5 or less hits, regardless of the result of the previous game. And when you look at Seattle, they've won 7 in a row as a home favorite off a loss, and they've won 5 in a row as a home favorite versus a starting pitcher with an ERA under 3. So all 4 of those come into play tonight, and Seattle's got Logan Gilbert on the mound. The team's 21-10 in the last 2 years when he starts against a team with a winning record, and they're 15-2 in the last 2 years after Gilbert had consecutive starts where he allowed 2 or less earned runs, which he's on that run now as well again. Seattle lost yesterday, but they're 7-1 in their last 8 games, and yesterday was just a 1-run loss. They're still 41-17 on the year as a favorite of -110 or higher. and they're 30-13 when that line's between -100 and -150. Chicago has been playing well, but they got Johnny Cueto on the mound, who hasn't been horrible by any means this year. But he, in his last 3 starts as a dog against non-division opponents, the team's played well, but he's only had 1 opportunity since June where that has happened, and it came in August. So Cueto's not used to pitching as a dog outside the division. And they're just 1-3 after getting out hit in a win this year. So I like Seattle bouncing back with the run that they've been on. They were 7-0 in 7 straight games before losing yesterday, with a couple of those obviously coming against Cleveland. But they got something to play for, and I don't think Chicago can do it again tonight, especially against Logan Gilbert on the mound for Seattle. So I like Seattle minus that 150.
Sports fans, Jeff Michaels, who's doing great work over at Sports Memo. Go follow him after the show. We got some great customer appreciation discounts. You'll be following Jeff all the way to the bank. Guys, Eric Pauly did hit me up in between segments. He told me he had to go. Eric, like I said, he's pulling double or triple duty today. It's a lot of work for all of us. And I know Eric had to prep for some of the other shows. Eric, we love you. You did great work. We thank you. Jeff Michaels, great breakdown. Jeff, I'm going to be seeing you on a couple of the other shows this week in the afternoon, but we do look forward to the Family Affair show, which has been a huge hit. As you guys know, Jeff and his father, Ralph Michaels. From now on, it's not going to be Ralph and his son, Jeff. It's going to be Jeff and his dad, Ralph. We're going to bill you as dad. Tell Ralph he can take it up with me. Anyway, and Joe and Dionne D'Amico do the Family Affair show on Friday mornings, and it's a huge hit. Tune in this Friday. You get an opportunity for some wager bucks, some free wager bucks for each one of our contributors. Now, guys, I want you to know I've been doing this since I'm 10 years old in the schoolyard. I'm 53. I had football sheets in the schoolyard in 6th grade. All right. And here in Vegas, 32 years, I worked alongside the original Vegas lines makers. We used to create the lines. I worked alongside some of the best handicappers, the pioneers of this industry, the Wayne Roots and the Jim Fights and guys like that. And I have never worked alongside somebody that's as sharp and as he just blows my mind, Dr. Chuck, every time he comes on the show. It's funny what he doesn't tell you. I'm a one-take guy, in and out of the bedroom. No, but I'm a one-take guy. Sinatra said, if you can't do it right the first time, you shouldn't be friggin' doing it at all. But Dr. Chuck does most of his stuff off the cuff. So I want you to know.
And it's not just one sport. It's like every sport that you can possibly think of.
And to share a panel with Dr. Chuck, I want you to know he may look young, and he is young, but he is one of the brightest minds I've ever worked with, and it's an honor to share the panel with Dr. Chuck a couple times a week. Guys, he does amazing work at Sports Memo. You want football, college and pro, you want baseball, you want basketball, you want soccer, hockey, you want tennis.
WNBA
I'm telling
tennis.
you right now, Dr. Chuck is a true Renaissance man. We're happy to have him here with us as a regular. And Doc, I told Jeff Michaels this. I told some of the other guys this. I told Moneyline Matt this the other day. Being on the First Family Show is like being in the mob. Once you're in, there's only one way out. We ain't letting you leave, my friend. We love you that much. We ain't letting you leave. And by the way, Dr. Chuck did take a tour of the city with us when he came in a few weeks ago. He knows. He saw the holes I got dug in the desert. So he knows that. I'm not letting you leave.
Wait. No. Once again, I told you there are not any holes in the ground. They are all in Lake Mead.
Yeah, but they keep floating up now. All my earlier work keeps floating up. Those sons of bitches, this water shortage is killing me. All my earlier good. No, I'm just kidding, guys. Although I may know one or two of those people that did float up. Although I'm not going to say it, but anyway. In any case, Dr. Chuck is one of the best I've ever worked with. He's one of the sharpest guys I've ever worked with, and not just on one platform, but on a slew of platforms. He's going to tell you a few things he's excited about. He's got a nice free play for you. Dr. Chuck, the platform, the floor is yours, buddy.
So you're saying it's like I try to get out and they pull me back in, right? I will never be. Yeah, I mean, plus, you got your nephew, little Joey, here, so it would be silly for me to try and escape. Yeah, it's funny when you two went on a little hiatus. Chris hit up me and Jeff and a couple others, specifically the two of us, I think Eric as well, to do hosting. And I said, I'm going to have to write something for these shows that made me nervous because I can't screw that stuff up. So yes, I had to actually write a note or two for a show when I was hosting, but I digress. I don't really know how to follow up all those laudatory comments that you've just hung on me here. It's embarrassing that it takes that long for you to introduce me. I'm not going to lie. I don't want to hear all that, but I like it. But yeah, so we are really trying to keep with our mojo here. So I'm sticking with tennis. We haven't lost a tennis play on First Family. We're 5-0. And it's been a really good U.S. Open. I hope that a lot of you have hopped on board. I worked with the team to create a tennis all access package where you just get tennis. There's 30-day right now. It's a really good deal. Definitely have had my fair share of people hop on there. You only get tennis with that, and so it's not quite all access, but there's a lot of it, and it is a year-round sport. So yesterday we cashed with another 10 unit. We are 3-0 all time with 10 unit tennis plays. They're not very common. That's why we've only had 3 forever, but we're up 200 units just this season. And the US Open, we are approaching 80 just gained since last Monday. Unfortunately, as the second week winds down and we're now already the second day, it's Tuesday, it's quarters time, and then semis, and then finals, and the US Open is over and the matches dwindle quickly. There's a lot of really good stuff, though. Even if you're not into tennis, I mean, there's Serena that we had last week. There's Beer Chug Girl. I mean, if you want to tune in just for Beer Chug Girl, you might as well watch that. At least you can see, a lady in a white T-shirt chug a beer on live television. So, I mean, that's worth the watch of at least sweating a bet with me, right? Coco is the American phenom following in Serena's footsteps. Maybe she can get her first Grand Slam win. That's what she's striving for. She plays Caroline Garcia tonight. Amazing matchup. Nick Kyrgios. People probably know Nick Kyrgios by this point because he's a crazy person, and he's a crazy person on and off the court. Tonight he plays someone that he doesn't like, which probably makes it all that more fun. And his name's Karen. And so, I mean, there's a lot of things that you can hop into here, even for the millennials and the younger kids. A hot-headed guy named Nick Kyrgios facing a guy named Karen. It's going to be a serving fest. A lot of angles on that. But I'm looking for my free play for the show today. Looking for tomorrow, where the number 1 seed and the number 1 ranked player in the world, Iga Swiatek, takes on Jessica Pegula. Jessica Pegula is the American here. She's going to be a big underdog. Swiatek is number 1 for a reason. She's been great. She's 54-7 all matches this whole year, which is kind of insane. Not something you can do without having earned this spot, but it's too big of a line. She's too big of a favorite. I'm not attacking it on that way because there's a lot of things that can happen. If you just take Pegula to win, you're going to get a big payout. If she does win, but a loss is just a loss. There's no spread like football. There's no spread like basketball. It's just like baseball. Jeff's play, Dionne's play, Eric's play, that's more like what tennis is here. Eric did go with a spread play, but, if the White Sox clipped the Mariners at the end of that game, Jeff could have been dead right. If Swiatek takes down Pegula in the 3rd set tiebreaker, it doesn't do us any good on a bet. But I can't imagine that Pegula is not going to get a set or come really damn close to getting a set here, maybe winning. But if they split sets, which is what I've been pounding all U.S. Open, you split sets, you're covering a 21. It's a best 2 out of 3. It doesn't really matter, even if it's a 6-0, 6-0, split for each person, which it's not going to be. But you almost can cover even that way when you get a 21. I'd probably play this up to 22.5 or 23.5 because I see it as a split set possibility, with the American having the crowd, really behind her. Some of those Serena people are still hanging around and they're really into American players, which they're dwindling quickly as well on both sides. Danielle Collins lost last night. Frances Tiafoe is the only one left on the men's side. And so you got to find a reason to root for them. I think this is worst case scenario. One of these first 2 sets goes tiebreak. We cruise after that and head to, the semis and keep cashing our tennis tickets. So stick with us. Check us out. We also have a lot of baseball. We've turned it back around a little bit, and it's hard to compete with what Jeff and Dionne have done to start the college football off, but I'm trying. And we did win with our 5-unit play and nailed the exact score. Everything else was a dumpster fire. So we're going to turn that back around, have some college football later on Sports Memo today, as well as MLB Full Count. So, yes, we're trying to do all the sports and balance, still putting out winners as well.
Sports fans, Dr. Chuck, 5-0 on the First Family Show on tennis-free plays. Wow. Guys, he is one of the most knowledgeable guys I've ever worked with, and I've been doing this, as Jeff will all tell you, for many, many years. I will tell you this, though. I also love this about Dr. Chuck, his transparency. And I think that, and we talked about this briefly the other day, Dr. Chuck, the guys like me, you guys here at Sports Memo, you get the integrity that you don't get everywhere. Let me just put it that way. I never badmouth anybody else. So you don't get everywhere. And I said it the other day on the show, and everybody laughed, but I meant it seriously. You can't tell me, and we obviously as married guys, we can't talk about our dates that we had before our wives, but you can't tell me about every good date you had, but I bet you can remember every bad date you have, because losers stick in our crow a lot longer because we have fewer and far between. They piss us off. And just Dr. Chuck, I want people to know about people like me, you, Jeff, Dionne, and even probably Eric Pauly, but I know that Dr. Chuck, Jeff, and Dionne and I have discussed this personally, guys. Mm-hmm. We walk it like we talk it. I don't put out a game I don't bet. So on losing days, I'm twice as friggin' pissed off because not only are you not getting paid and you're probably not coming back tomorrow, I lost my friggin' money. On winning days, you're coming back tomorrow, and I won. So we're twice as happy. We're twice as pissed on losing days. And thank goodness the best collection of cappers anywhere on the planet are at Sports Memo, because we are documented with everything. And I appreciate and I respect your transparency. But Dr. Chuck, you're always one day away from making people a fortune. I'll tell a small fortune to a major fortune. I love that.
The reason I knew that I needed therapy because I looked Jeff Michaels went 4-1 with college football. He's 4-1. I wouldn't even remember the 4. I'd be so pissed off that I didn't go 5-0. I was like, I need therapy. This is not normal.
Absolutely. I told you, just like those few bad dates we had in our life. I remember a couple of them. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, I'm leaving with that. 6-degree black belt, still tougher than me. Sports fans, Dr. Chuck and Jeff Michaels. We'll be back in a moment. I've got a quickie for you, and who doesn't like a morning quickie? I know all you married people do. Guys, just because football is upon us does not mean that we should forget about baseball. Today, I'm here to remind you just that, as I have another big MLB release for you in my MLB Grand Slam play. My Grand Slam plays are on a 13-5 run, and over the last 5 seasons are documented over 75%. So join me on the diamond today. Let's beat the books, and together we'll hit a Grand Slam. I have it posted right now. It's Sports Memo for $10. But as a multi-time college and pro handicapping top capper, this is an ideal time for you to follow me in all sports with that 30-day all sports access program, just $199. I'm going to tell you now, you're going to get baseball, you're going to get college and pro football, and I'm gunning for number ones in every sport I contribute to this year. I want to sweep the board. I want to be the best D'Amico on the board. I'll tell you that right now. I'm going to whoop my ass. She beat me in college football last year. She was second, and I was like fifth.
This year, baby.
All right. Does anybody know a good divorce lawyer? Anyway, guys, let's go to my free play today. Sports fans, Milwaukee Brewers are scratching and clawing for a wild card spot. And what better opponent to face to achieve that goal than the Colorado Rockies? The Brewers have taken 9 of the last 10 meetings, including 4 of 5 this season. Brandon Woodruff, Chad Kuhl, their scheduled starters here today. Woodruff had his first tough outing since coming off the injured list back at the end of June. Since returning to the rotation in 12 starts, 4-1 with a 2.80 ERA. He has struggled against Colorado in his career, but with the way Milwaukee has dominated this rivalry, he'll get a ton of run support that he needs to get over the hump here against the Rockies. Kuhl has done well in his career against the Brewers. However, he's just 0-1 with a 5.59 ERA in 2 starts since he returned from a hip flexor strain. Colorado 0-5 the last 5 versus right-handed starters, 1-6 the last 7 versus the NL Central, 2-9 the last 11 overall. I'm taking Milwaukee on the run line. If you do too, you can join me in beating our books. Let's bring the panel back. We'll run down some plays. We'll get some announcements. We'll get out of Dodge. Yeah, I do script our plays, so I don't have a mind like Dr. Chuck. I'm old. I got Alzheimer's.
You need Jinkoba.
Huh? Anyway, she told me I need Jinkoba. All right, I really do need a divorce lawyer, guys. Dionne's got a couple of announcements, some discounts. Dionne, take it away.
With Joey and myself both all over the leaderboard, this is the perfect time to take advantage of our 30-day all-access pass for just $199. All you have to do is use code FF30 upon checkout. And today is Tuesday, and it is not just for tacos and margaritas. It is $2 Tuesday over at Sports Memo. That's right. We have Cajun Sports, Tim Michael, and R&R totals as $2 Tuesday featured cappers. $2 each, or you can get all 3 winning cappers for just the low price of $5.
Sports fans, we're going to run down today's free plays. The first lady of Las Vegas, what'd you have for everybody, honey?
I'm going with the Rays today.
Eric Pauly, who had a takeoff. He had a modeling shoot. He joined Ross on a modeling shoot in Mykonos. He had the Twins plus a run and a half, minus 135. Jeff, what'd you have for everybody, buddy? Jeff is frozen. I like him that way.
Minus 150 today.
Jeff had the Mariners minus 150. His picture is frozen. I don't know what happened over there. Maybe he's getting me a divorce attorney. And maybe his wife hit him.
Oh, that's a good.
That's good. I love him. Jeff had the Mariners minus 150. Dr. Chuck, can you give everybody your free play for today?
Yep, it's a match tomorrow. U.S. Open, Swiatek and Pegula over 21 games, over 22 games. Doesn't matter to me.
There you go. And your sexy and savory host said the Brewers minus 1.5, minus 120. Guys, the best collection of cappers anywhere on the planet at Sports Memo. Go follow Sports Memo Twitter page. I'm telling you right now, we each post tons of free stuff. You get futures, you get odds, you get great columns by Eric Pauly, who took off. Follow these guys, Dionne.
And also follow all of the amazing cappers on the First Family Show. You can find Dr. Chuck over at Dr. Chuck Sports. You can find Jeff Michaels at JM Sports CLE. Eric Pauly at Slime Action, and you can find myself over at the First Lady of Vegas and Joey over at Joe D'Amico Wins. And don't forget to tune in later this afternoon for the MLB show, and Thursday for the college football show, Friday for the very first NFL football forecast, and make sure you tune in on Friday for the Family Affair show featuring myself, Joey, Jeff Michaels, and his father, Ralph Michaels. And don't forget to tune in the rest of this week for some more free winners and a ton of special guests. And on behalf of Dr. Chuck, Jeff, Eric, Sports Memo, and us, this is the First Family of Vegas.
Everyone out there, good luck.